So you're thinking about moving to Avondale, Arizona. Well, in this video, I'm going to do a complete map tour. I'm going to show you important landmarks that you may need to get to if you were living in Arizona. I'm going to show you surrounding suburbs. I'm going to talk about schools, important places to visit, sports, golf courses, hospitals, everything you may need to know about Avondale, Arizona, and how far it is. By the way, my name is Yolanda Street. I'm part of the relocation to Phoenix team. I get calls, texts, emails every day from people just like you that's wanting to relocate to Avondale and the surrounding suburbs. If you're thinking about moving here in the next year, 6 months, 6 weeks, or even 6 days, definitely reach out to me so I can make your transition as smooth as possible. Now, for this video, I'm going to go ahead and point out some important things about Avondale, but before I do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Avondale, and we're going to use Google Maps to get this party started. So, a little bit about Avondale. Avondale is about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix. Avondale runs along the I-10 freeway, which makes it easy for you to communicate to other surrounding suburbs and or to downtown, traveling for day trips out of the valley. Whatever you choose to do, it's along that I-10 freeway. Avondale has grown to be one of the West Valley's most popular cities with over 95,000 residents and growing. Avondale is a perfect blend of charm, city living, family-friendly communities. Definitely has a lot to offer. No matter what type of environment you're looking for, you're going to find something in Avondale. So, the vibe you're going to get in Avondale, again, is going to be a family-friendly feel. It gives you the opportunity for growth. It gives you the opportunity to get to know your community, to do community events, and just to have that family-oriented feel. You're going to find that we have beautiful parks, walking trails, hiking trails, master plan communities, neighborhoods without HOA, aquatic centers, different places to hang out directly in the city of Avondale. But you're going to find that if you did need to leave the city of Avondale, that there's not too far that you have to travel. People are relocating to Avondale because of the home prices compared to the East Valley suburb. They're relocating for employment. There's plenty of jobs right here in Avondale and in the surrounding suburbs. They're relocating to Avondale because of the commute and because of the weather that we get directly here in Arizona. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Avondale map. Okay, so in looking at the map, right here surrounded in the red, this is Avondale. Avondale is north and south of the I-10 freeway. So right here you see the I-10 freeway, and then right here you see there's Avondale. So it's on all sides of the freeway here. Now, the historic part of Avondale, older Avondale, you're going to find is south of the I-10, and then you're going to find some of our lake communities is going to be north of the I-10, and we will definitely talk about that and go over that stuff. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the Avondale Civic Center. In the Avondale Civic Center here, which you're going to see right here on the map, the Avondale Civic Center, it's like a square or circle. You're going to find there's multiple things there in the Civic Center. There's going to be the city courthouses, police department. They even have an aquatic center, and right now they're actively building an Avondale Park, a big park in that area. Let me see if I can pull up some photos for you so you can kind of check out the Avondale Civic Center. So the aquatic center is right here. This is the aquatic center here over there directly in the Avondale Square, Avondale Civic Center area. It's open to Avondale residents. If you are not an Avondale resident, you can still go. However, you may pay a couple dollars more to get in. It has party rooms that you can rent, indoor, outdoor area for bigger and smaller kids and or adults, and they do sell food. So this is the Civic Center and the Aquatic Center directly in the Civic Center area. So right here, you're going to have the Avondale Visitor Center. Gives you information about Avondale. This is also the area where they do voting or they hold classes. I believe you can rent these spaces if you wanted to rent the space out to host an event or a party. So this is the visitor center area right here. And then you have the Avondale Library right here in the same area. And again, all this stuff is pretty much walking distance. So they have the library if you wanted to go to the library. The Avondale Library is right here. And then they have, again, the courthouse. If you get a ticket, you're definitely going to have to hit up that courthouse. So you're going to want to know where that's at. And all this right here is in one particular area. This is the Avondale Civic Center. Now I want to touch on freeways back on my Avondale map. So just so you can kind of see where we are and what freeways are in the area. So again, I said the I-10 goes through right here. You're still close to the 303. The 303 is going to be west of Avondale right here, but it connects to the I-10. So if you're trying to get to maybe Surprise, you'd want to take that 303 going north. If you're trying to get to like the city of Buckeye and or you were headed to California, you take the I-10 west right here. And then they have the Loop 101, which is right here. It connects to the I-10 also. The Loop 101, if you were taking the freeways, would take you to Glendale, Peoria, down in those areas. And then, of course, if you take the I-10 going east, right here, you're going to hit the 202, and you're going to go east to the East Valley cities, Chandler, Gilbert, Scottsdale, Tempe, those areas. So the freeways are right here surrounding Avondale. You can use that 10 to connect to any of the freeways, but we also have some main roads that will take you across if you didn't want to take the freeway. Some of the surrounding cities of Avondale, you're going to find that Goodyear is really close to Avondale. You're going to find that we are close to Buckeye right here. You're going to have Glendale here, Peoria, Sun City's right here, El Mirage. Then you have the East Valley cities, which is going to be Scottsdale, Tempe, Chandler, Mesa. So you have Gilbert, Chandler, Queen Creek, Santan Valley. All these are little surrounding suburbs of Avondale. They are not extremely far. I know if you're not used to the Arizona area, you're probably like, I don't know where those cities are. But I'm just pointing them out because these are all suburbs surrounding Avondale. Of course, Glendale, Buckeye, Goodyear, those are going to be the main ones that surround Avondale. But the other ones that I named are not too far off. If you were trying to get to the Phoenix airport, or the airports ideally in the Phoenix area, there's two. There's Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, which is a national and international airport. It's the main airport that services Phoenix. From Avondale, you're going to be about, I'd say about 20 to 25 minutes, depending where you are in Avondale, to get to that airport. The Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport does have two terminals. Terminals 1 and 2 have closed permanently, but we have terminals 3 and 4, which does national and international flights. We do have a SkyTrain there out at the Sky Harbor Airport that will take you from parking areas or park and ride or the SkyTrain directly into the airport. It will also take you to the Rent-A-Car Center, the Greyhound, and from Terminals 3 to Terminal 4. So there's a SkyTrain that will help you get to where you're trying to go if you were trying to maneuver through the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Now, if you're trying to go out of the Gateway Airport, which is definitely over in the East Valley, it's going to take you about 45 to 55 minutes if you are in Avondale. It's a much smaller airport, but it does have restaurants for you to eat at, little stores if you needed to pick up something, but it's definitely a smaller airport, and it has the smaller airlines that operate out of that airport. They do a lot of service to Canada and some of the 50 states. So if you're trying to look at certain states and or Canada, you definitely want to check and see if the Gateway Airport is something you'd like to travel out of. You may find that some of the ticket prices may be a little more reasonable depending on where you're trying to go. So those are the two main airports that are going to service you if you live in Avondale or the surrounding areas. Now let's talk about, for all my sports fans, I like to always talk about sports. If you're in Avondale and you want to see the Arizona Cardinals play, they're going to be over here in Glendale at the State Farm Stadium. I just want to pull that up so you can kind of see what it looks like. State Farm Stadium in Glendale. About 8 to 12 miles, depending where you are in Avondale. State Farm Stadium's right here. It's going to run right along that 101 freeway I talked to you about right here. So if you were going down the 101 freeway, Avondale's going to be right over to the west of it. Really easy commute. Like I said, 8 to 12 miles. This is just a few pictures of the State Farm Stadium and our Arizona Cardinals and where they play. This is how the State Farm Stadium looks. Right outside of the State Farm Stadium in that same area, you're going to find that you have the Westgate district, Westgate and Glendale. And this is the Westgate area right here. Again, 8 to 12 miles depending on where you are in Avondale. But if you're trying to like see a movie in Glendale, see a game, maybe do some nightlife, anything like that, just know that this is definitely not far from Avondale. Now, they do have movie theaters and activities like that directly in Avondale, but I'm just talking about if you were in Avondale and wanted to get out of Avondale for, a concert or, bigger restaurants or, like I said, a sports game, you're not going too far from Avondale to get to this location. Now, if you are a Phoenix Suns fan or even the Mercury fan, it's going to be downtown Phoenix at the Footprint Center. And downtown Phoenix, again, is going to be about maybe 20 minutes, 15 to 20 miles to downtown Phoenix. This is going to be the Footprint Center where our Phoenix Suns and our Mercury plays. And this is the area of that. Along with downtown Phoenix, the Footprint Center, we have Chase Field. And Chase Field is where our Diamondbacks play right here. And it's right downtown. So the distance for that is going to be about the same. Downtown Phoenix. And of course you're going to have like out nightlife, bars and all that downtown Phoenix. So if you're in Avondale, you are not traveling too far to get to these areas. So we are talking about Avondale, but I'd like to point out some of the stuff that people like to do and point out that you're not traveling very far to get to these places. Also, we are home of multiple spring training baseball fields. We have the Peoria Sports Complex. We have the Goodyear Ballpark, which is only about 5 minutes from Avondale, 5 to 7 minutes, depending on where you're traveling from. And we have the Camelback Ranch. All those places host spring training facilities for our baseball. So if you're into spring training games or baseball, you have multiple teams that surround the area of Avondale. So definitely places for you to hit up. Take the family, check out some of our spring training teams directly here in the Phoenix area. Okay, so as I said, people are relocating to Avondale for different reasons. As far as relocating to Avondale for employment, there's plenty of employment opportunities directly in Avondale and in the surrounding cities, whether it's retail, healthcare, professional or business, construction, manufacturing, any of those jobs you're going to find directly in Avondale. We have some of the bigger companies like Avondale, Walmart, Amazon, Walmart, Costco, Sam's. You're going to find multiple school districts. All of those companies are good for employment, but we also have a lot of companies that are relocating here to Arizona just because we do have good weather most of the year. Now, we have more than 300 days of good weather. So a lot of companies are coming here because they don't find the issues that you may find if you're in the East Coast with the snow or, truckers or products and supplies trying to get to different areas because of weather and cold winters. We don't have that here in Arizona, which is why people are moving here. We have the, Vitamin Shop just relocated here. We have Sanmar here, Copper Springs here. And again, we have multiple hospitals here that are directly in Avondale and the surrounding areas because of our weather. And again, they don't have the hiccups that they may have by having their headquarters in the East Valley. Now, let's talk about some of the schools in Avondale. So Avondale has plenty of educational opportunities here directly in Avondale. There are 4 high schools that service the Avondale area. We have West Point, Westview, La Jolla, and Agua Fria High School. Those are the public high schools that service the Avondale area. We have St. John's Paul Catholic High School, that is a private school that services Avondale, Arizona. We have more than 8 K through 8 schools, public schools that service Avondale. And then we have about 4 charter schools. I know there's Imagine Prep, there's Sun Valley, and there's Legacy Charter Schools that service our K through 8 kiddos. And then we have some higher education facilities. We have Rio Salado, Estrella Mountain Community College. We have some trade schools and some tech schools, all directly in Avondale. So if you move to Avondale, whether you're looking for yourself, an older child, or even a smaller child, you have plenty of options as far as education is concerned directly in Avondale. Let's talk about hospitals in Avondale. You hope not to need them, but you always want to know that they're around. So right here on the map in red is all either hospitals or medical facilities. A big one in Avondale is going to be the Abrazo Arizona Hospital. It's directly in Avondale. We have a Phoenix Children's Hospital branch directly in Avondale. You have Banner here, not directly in Avondale, but maybe 5 to 7 minutes from Avondale. You have the Banner Hospital, and then you have Dignity Hospitals also. Now, along with the hospitals, you're going to find that Avondale has specialty hospitals, rehab hospitals, plenty of doctor's offices, dentist offices. So whether you're wanting it for healthcare for yourself or you work in that field, you're going to find that Avondale has plenty of healthcare facilities to offer you when you get here to Avondale. You're going to also find that even if you decided to travel outside of the Avondale area, again, a lot of this stuff is really close. Now, Arizona itself, Phoenix and the surrounding area, we have multiple cancer centers, but Avondale does have City of Hope, which is one of the biggest hospitals here in the valley. Is City of Hope, and it's directly here in Avondale. It used to be called Cancer Centers of America, but now it's City of Hope. So you hope not to need it. But again, like I said, if you're relocating, you want to know about the good, the bad, the ugly. You want to know what's available to you. And City of Hope Cancer Center is definitely directly in Avondale, Arizona. Now let's talk about some of the fun stuff. For all my golfers here or relocating here, or that's already here, if you're in another surrounding suburb in the East Valley or in the West Valley, you're thinking about Avondale, this definitely will come in handy for you too. So let's talk about golf courses really quick. And I'm going to try to highlight a few that I know. The first one that I want to touch on is going to be the Coldwater Golf Club. Coldwater Golf Club right here. Let me show you some pictures. It's directly here in Avondale. It is an 18-hole championship golf course. They do have putting green out there. They have a driving range. They have a restaurant. They do host events. They have a short game area. Let me see if I can show you a few pictures of the Coldwater Golf Club. You're going to notice that a lot of our golf courses do have like a desert view or mountain views because we're in Arizona. We're known for our desert and our mountains. So you're going to notice that they do have it. If you want to live in a home where you have a golf course view, most of the golf course views are going to have the view gate here that you're seeing on the picture. So you can see the golf course from your patio or from your backyard. And this is going to be the Coldwater Golf Club here. Another golf club that I want to touch on is going to be the Palm Valley Golf Course. Now, the Palm Valley Golf Course is not directly in Avondale, but it's about 5 minutes down the road in Goodyear, Litchfield area. This is going to be the Palm Valley Golf Course right here. Show you a couple pictures. Very green. Again, you still see mountain views in the background. Palm Valley Golf Club does offer events. You can do events there. They have a really nice restaurant. It's 5 minutes from Avondale, 27-hole golf course. They have the Fairway Grill, so if you want to get some lunch or some dinner while you're out there. They do host events. They do leagues. They do junior golf programs out there. And that golf course is for a couple different skill levels. So whether you're an advanced golfer or a new golfer, this is definitely a golf course that you could go golf at and enjoy yourself a little bit. I do want to touch on one more. It's going to be the Wigwam Golf Course. Let me pull that one up. Wigwam Golf Course and Resort. So this is going to be a nice upscale feel. It's going to be, Wigwam Golf Course is a 54-hole golf course. It has 3 18-hole courses, gold, red, and blue, different skill levels. They host leagues, they host tournaments, junior programs out there also. You're going to get that luxury feel out there at this golf course right here. As you can see, it does have beautiful views also. And of course, it is a luxury resort, so you can stay there. They host weddings, different events, different parties. Definitely that upscale feel out there at the Wigwam Golf Course. They do have a really nice restaurant, beautiful views at night. So I recommend, whether you're in Avondale or anywhere else, this is definitely a beautiful golf course to check out. As you can see, here's a picture of a junior out there. Beautiful photos. So, and again, that luxury feel is definitely going to be there when you're dealing with the Wigwam Golf Course and the skill level. So whether you're new or advanced, you're going to find that this is a really nice golf course to check out. Now, before we move on to something else, I do want to point out that there are some pretty fun places in Avondale. We're going to touch base on this one right here. We were just talking about golf, so I was like, why not touch on this? Right here in directly in Avondale, they have the Fairway Dreams golf, indoor golf. So if you're not a true golfer for being outside and you just want to go do some indoor golfing, have some fun, the Fairway Dreams golf course is going to be right here. And really close right here, we have the DBAT Indoor Baseball and Softball Academy. They do have like different academies. You can go in there and do like the batting practice. You can buy anything you need for softball or baseball, whether it's for you or for the kiddos. They do camps during like spring break and during the summer. We are really close to Avondale. Is probably about maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes from a Top Golf. So if you're familiar with Top Golf and you want to go in there and do Top Golf, let me see if I can pull that up for you. You can do Top Golf. Right here you have Top Golf just for fun if you want to hang out with the family and do Top Golf. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they do food. They bring it directly to where you're hanging out and golfing, and you can just have fun, golf, whether you're going with family, friends, or the kiddos. You can just practice and golf. Like, you don't have to be a golfer, but you can just go for fun. So this is the Top Golf, and like I said, 5 to 7 minutes from Avondale, straight up that 101 freeway that we talked about. You're going to find that Top Golf is out there also. So you're in Avondale and you have plenty of activities that we can do directly in Avondale, and you're not far from anything on the outside of Avondale. So we talked about golfing, we talked about schools, we talked about hospitals. I do want to touch on some, popular parks in Avondale. And we're going to touch on some of the popular communities in Avondale. Let's talk about some of the parks first. Now, I'm only going to talk about 3 of the biggest parks directly in Avondale, but just know any community you live in, you're going to find that there's going to be community parks, walking trails. You may find biking areas, but I do want to talk about some of the parks. The first one I'm going to talk about, let's talk about Alomar Park, and we will talk about Alomar Community a little bit later. So Alomar Park is part of part of Avondale's newest and largest master plan community. Alomar Park, here's some pictures, but Alomar Park has a lot to offer. You don't have to be a resident of Alomar to go to the park, but it's really nice. So right here you have the playground area. You're going to have an outdoor fitness court, which is right here on the photos. You're going to have a fishing lake with ramadas around it, so you can grill, you can fish, hang out at the ramadas. It has a splash pad for the kiddos. It has 2 different dog parks, one for bigger dogs, one for smaller dogs. Here's another Ramada area just to hang out. Here it is right here with the lake and the sunset. Beautiful. You definitely want to check that out. Splash pad here again for the kiddos. So just different things to do. You can walk around. You're going to notice that a lot of our parks are going to be covered with the playgrounds. The playgrounds are going to be covered because, again, we are hot out here, and we want to make sure that the play equipment is cool for the kids. They have sports courts, baseball, softball, basketball, sports court, and they even have pickleball out there. So plenty to do. Whether you're going for yourself or you have kiddos of all ages, there's something out there at this park for everybody. I'm going to touch on Friendship Park next. Friendship Park is a huge park. It runs along the I-10 area and along McDowell. Friendship Park has a Japanese garden. It has 3 different playgrounds. It has dog parks, soccer fields, football fields, sports courts out there also. Here's an area of the fishing lake. You can feed the ducks. Right here is going to be a photo of the Japanese garden area. Here's the soccer fields. You're going to notice that if you're out there late evenings or early Sunday mornings, that there's going to be people playing soccer. You have the basketball courts. Again, 3 different playgrounds. So plenty to do out there also. If you're out there, again, kiddos of all ages, no matter what you're doing, there's something out there for everybody. The final park I'm going to touch on is going to be Festival Fields Park. Festival Fields Park is also a really big park. It's known for the fireworks that it has around the 4th of July. It has a splash pad, as you can see right here. It's not on, but water will pour out of all these toys right here for the kiddos. Large Ramadas. It's known for big family events because the Ramadas are really big out there. It does have a fishing lake also. Biking trails right here. A skate park is out there. Dog park right here. You can see the softball fields. They do a lot of league play out there also. You can walk the trail. You can walk around the lake. So Festival Fields Park is really another nice park to take the family to. Here's some mountain views right here. Play structures. So these are 3 popular parks directly in Avondale alone. So you don't even have to leave Avondale to get to these parks. Beautiful areas for you to hang out with the family, especially if you're into outdoor. So I want to touch now on some popular neighborhoods in Avondale. Okay, so the first neighborhood I want to touch on in Avondale is going to be, like I said, the largest and newest master plan community. This is going to be south of the I-10, so it's down south, still along Avondale Boulevard, but you're going to go down south toward Broadway. As you can see on my map, Avondale Boulevard is right here, which this street will run all the way north and south to the freeway and past it, and then south all the way to the Alomar community. The Alomar community is going to be right here west of Avondale Boulevard, and it's going to be right here, and it's kind of in that Broadway area, but it goes all the way down to like the Lower Buckeye and Buckeye area. Let me show you some pictures of this Alomar community. So we just looked at the park, but this is the Alomar pool. The beautiful mountain views are right here. This is how it looks overall with everything you see there. So you see fields and all this. This is, again, the master plan community. There's like 4 different home builders out there, resale homes. Even if you buy a resale home, this community was established in 2020, 2021. So the houses are still fairly new. So whether you want a resale or a new build, you're able to find it out there, multiple different price points. This is just a little sitting area out there in that Alomar community. Can't miss it. It's very beautiful. Walking trails. There's school, an elementary school right directly out there. Just different views of the Alomar community. So this is a really pretty area. Another area in Avondale is going to be the Garden Lakes. Now the Garden Lakes community is going to be north of the I-10. Let's see if I can find you some pictures of Garden Lakes. So you have the I-10 right here, and Garden Lakes is going to be right here north of the I-10. So Garden Lakes is going to be west of the 101 freeway right here, but north of the I-10 right here in this little pocket right here. So if you were in Alomar where we were, you'd be south of the I-10, and then right here you're going to find that Garden Lakes is right here. Not finding too many pictures. Garden Lakes is going to be that community if you wanted to like have Lakeview properties or something like that. You're going to find that Garden Lakes has Lakeview properties right here. As you can see right here on the map, the blue areas right here, so there's water. Your backyard on water, whether you want like a little canoe or paddle boat, you're going to find that you can do that in the Garden Lakes area. Garden Lakes is an older community, but still very beautiful because of the HOA rules and everything. You find that the neighborhoods are still pretty nice. The prices of the houses are still fairly, again, like I said, you can find them from the 300s all the way up, and it's really nice. So if you're coming from another state and you're not used to the HOA, let me touch on that really quick. HOAs have different rules in different communities. So I tell everybody, if you're moving here to Avondale or the surrounding areas, definitely do your homework on the HOAs. Some HOAs don't allow you to park on the street after 10 o'clock. Your car can't stay there overnight after 10 o'clock. I do know there's, different circumstances where it's a holiday time or something like that where you can contact the HOA and get a pass or something like that. Some HOAs do not allow RVs or big vehicles like that. I know you need to get permission to make some big changes to the front of your house, but in the back of your house, it doesn't matter as long as it's not seen from the street view of the front. Unless you live on one of the golf course communities that we talked about and you have that view gate, you may need to get permission from the HOA to make some big changes in your backyard. Avondale does have some communities that are non-HOA, so if you're not really feeling the HOA, you could definitely check out the no HOA communities. You're going to find that some of those communities may be a little bit older, more fixer-upper homes that you may find. But again, everybody likes different things. Just know that you're going to find it all here in Avondale. Now I'm going to move on to some shopping areas directly in Avondale. But while I'm pulling that up, there is something that I wanted to touch on, and that is public transportation. Here in Avondale, you're going to find that you may want to have a vehicle if you relocate here to Avondale. Avondale does not have a lot of public transportation that you may find directly in Phoenix, closer to downtown, or some of the other cities closer to Phoenix. Avondale does not have the light rail. They do not have a lot of metro buses. So you're going to find that you do need a car. Now, I do know that the city of Avondale is doing some studies and researching, maybe bringing down the light rail and or some metro buses to service Avondale, but as of right now, they don't have that. So if you're going to move to Avondale, you're definitely going to want to have a vehicle to get back and forth to work, get the kids to school if you're choosing to go to a school that's not directly in your neighborhood, or even for shopping purposes. I just wanted to make sure I touch on public transportation because sometimes people don't know. I know here in Arizona, it may be different from the East Coast as far as transportation and getting around. So I always like to touch on public transportation when I do these videos. Now, shopping in Avondale, Arizona. There's multiple different shopping areas directly in Avondale. Here it is, Avondale. You have all these areas right here. As you can see, there is going to be a Costco. Old Navy. Right here is going to be the gateway shopping area, again, along that 101 and the I-10. You're going to find that there's a Costco, there's an Old Navy, Best Buy, all those daily, everyday shopping stores that you want to go to. They have a movie theater over there at the Gateway Pavilions. They have, you're close to like a trampoline spot for the kiddos, different smaller restaurants, taco shops, ice cream shops. You're going to find that there's an escape room place over there. And then you're going to have some bigger restaurants over there also. So in that area right here of Gateway, you're going to find there's plenty of shopping, plenty of things to do. Even if you just want to go walk around, hang out, there's plenty of outdoor shops right here in this Gateway area. Right here, you're going to have the Alameda Crossing, Coldwater Plaza, Avondale Fiesta Shopping Center. Those are all going to be in this area. And in looking at my map, you're going to see that there's a BBB's Fashion. There's Walmart Shopping Center right here. You have Kohl's right here. Along with all these different shopping areas, you have all the smaller shopping areas, all the shopping stores, smaller boutiques, workout facilities, again, different restaurants. So right here in Avondale, you're going to find there's plenty of shopping, plenty of fun things to do, everyday shopping places and little family boutiques, mom and pop family-owned restaurants, everything right here in Avondale. Now, if you do want to go, like I said, to Tanger Outlets there in Glendale, you have those. Arrowhead Mall is going to be straight up the 101 to the Peoria area, really, really close. There's not a lot that you're not going to be able to find within 20 minutes of, well, being in Avondale and 20 minutes of the outskirts of Avondale. No matter what direction you go, you're going to find something. So shopping, hanging out with the family, eating, that is definitely not going to be an issue. Now, if you're into nightlife, you're not going to find a whole lot of nightlife directly in Avondale. You will find a couple different sports bars, sports clubs, karaoke spots, pubs, stuff like that in Avondale. If you want to do like concerts, sports, really big nightlife places, you're going to want to go to Glendale, Westgate area. You're going to want to go to downtown Phoenix, maybe go to Scottsdale, something like that, and you will be able to find those areas. But if you're looking for somewhere directly in Avondale, there are a few different places that you can go to. There's some karaoke bars. There's some places that have beers where they make their craft beers. You're going to find like the Santa Fe nightclub. It has different DJs that come in. They do dancing. They do live music. You can get some good food there, some good drinks. So the Santa Fe nightclub is directly in Avondale. They have the Aguila's Hideaway, which is a sports bar. They have billiards there, good food, good drinks, friendly people right directly in Avondale. They have Taps 2, which is a bar, food. That's where they do the craft beers. All these places also do some karaoke nights. So if you like karaoke, you can do karaoke. So there are some little places you can do right here in Avondale, whether you just want to go watch a game or hang out for a little bit and not go too far from home. These are all places directly in Avondale. But again, if you want the real nightlife and you want to travel to do stuff, you're going to have to hit up Scottsdale, downtown Phoenix, and or Glendale. So we touched on schools, we touched on popular neighborhoods, hospitals, golf courses, nightlife. As you can see, Avondale really does have it all. Whether you're retired, you're a growing family, you're single, whatever the case may be, Avondale really, really does have it all. There's something for everybody in Avondale. You get that family-friendly feel, that charming feel, that city feel. Somewhere in Avondale, you're going to find it. Keep in mind that Avondale is in the West Valley. No matter where you are in Avondale, where you are in Avondale or the surrounding areas, you're going to find beautiful outdoor spots. You're going to find that 300 days of great weather. If you have questions on Avondale, definitely check out my Avondale new construction homes or my blog video, the pros and cons video of Avondale or any other surrounding areas that you may be interested in. Definitely subscribe below, hit the bell so you never miss out on another video. And again, if you're relocating here, I'd be more than happy to make your relocation process as smooth as possible so we can get you here in Arizona and in Avondale or any other surrounding cities and get you situated with very little stress. Reach out to me. My name's Yolanda, part of the Living in Phoenix team, and I definitely can't wait to meet you on the street.